Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
What? Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is present. Thank you for joining me, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, Scientology fine done, diddly did it, and threw Danny Masterson right straight under the bus. We knew they were going to do it eventually. It's just, I got to tell you, I'm not even sure they actually truly understand what they've done. David Miscavige is so petty and vindictive and childish that he could not help but put out a press release the night it was announced that there was a mistrial in the Danny Masterson case. Miscavige could not help but put out a press release attacking the district attorney, attacking Leah Remini, attacking the Jane Does. And when I show you some of the excerpts of this letter, you're going to understand how Miscavige putting this letter out to the press, in my opinion, all but guarantees that the district attorney is going to try Danny Masterson again for the 3 charges of viciously attacking these 3 women. We're still waiting for an announcement from the district attorney's office as to whether they're going to try the case again or dismiss the charges. And if they decide to try Danny again, it will probably be in no small part due to Miscavige attacking the ethics and integrity of the district attorney himself. So let me show you. This is from The Wrap, and they did an article about the mistrial, and headline, Leah Remini calls for Scientology to be co-defendant if Danny Masterson is retried. They obstructed justice. Scientology and its evil leader, David Miscavige, obstructed justice and participated in a conspiracy to cover up these crimes. Leah Remini called for Scientology to be a co-defendant if Danny Masterson is retried, suggesting in a statement that her former church has covered up crimes many other times. The church strenuously denied her claims and said the prosecution's portrayal of the church inner workings was dead wrong. And this is the part where it gets interesting. Scientology has refrained from commenting on the Masterson case, of which it is not a party until now. The church on Thursday reiterated its statement from the beginning of the trial, denying any policy against members reporting other members. The church included that language in a lengthy statement in the hours after a mistrial was called Wednesday. So when we click through to this link here about a lengthy statement, we get an actual official statement. I mean, I'm calling this a press release. It's a statement. It's the same thing in my eyes. All press releases like this come directly from David Miscavige. Now, this one particularly is not even signed. And yet usually when they are signed, they're signed by Karen Powell, one of the staff members in the Office of Special Affairs, the part of Scientology responsible for legal affairs, public relations, hiring lawyers, private investigators, thugs to harass former members and critics. But Karen Powell has no authority in Scientology to do or say anything other than exactly what David Miscavige tells her to do or say. So Miscavige will dictate a press release, and he'll just put Karen Powell's name at the bottom of it, is how that usually works out. So let's see what Scientology says here. Church of Scientology statement. The church was not a party to this case. Nevertheless, the DA unconscionably centered his prosecution on religion and fabrications about the church, hoping to prejudice the jury and inflame bigotry. The DA had an anti-Scientology agenda orchestrated, scripted, and pushed by Leah Remini. Guys, the italics, the bold lettering here, this is all in the original. This is such a childish press release. That's how you know it comes directly from David Miscavige, because this is how he would talk or speak. Anything remotely like what a professional PR person or communications person would do. The DA elicited answers from the Jane Does concerning allegations about the church that were totally false. Even more egregious is the DA's blatant misrepresentations of our doctrines and beliefs. Quite simply, the DA's descriptions of Scientology beliefs and practices were uniformly dead wrong. The church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct of Scientologists or of anyone to law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't really matter. There is zero truth to any of the testimony that the church has harassed or stalked the Jane Does. Remember, guys, this criminal trial was not about stalking or harassing. Has nothing to do with the criminal trial. It has nothing to do with what the Wrap was even asking for a comment on, and yet they're wading into it. They're commenting on a trial Danny is going to to have to go through. It hasn't started yet. It's on hold pending the outcome of the criminal trial, but nonetheless, they're wading into it. Investigation of the allegations has over and over shown them to be baseless. Investigation by who? Investigation by who? Clearly, there's some base to the merits because the judge has allowed the lawsuit to go forward. But anyway, let's keep going. While Remini may not have appeared to testify in this trial, make no mistake, her fingerprints were all over the case. And we have the evidence demonstrating that she is the one who scripted the DA's attack on the church. Now, as Miscavige is having this, free association, diarrhea of words that he's dictating onto this page here, in his mind, he's primarily focusing his hatred on Leah Remini. But he cannot help but to spray District Attorney, Deputy DA Reinhold Mueller, and his entire team with the exact same hatred. And that is a very big mistake. Putting out lies and mischaracterizations about the DA, calling his ethics and integrity and his intentions and his process into question, while he is still making his final decision on whether to retry their case, is not just poking the bear, it's jamming a giant pointy stick right in the bear's eye. And Miscavige is not doing Danny Masterson any favors here. Remember, this press release starts out with a factual statement. Scientology is not a party to this case, which is why they should keep their mouths shut and stay completely out of it. Scientology is like the wacky, out-of-control hype man that always gets his buddy into trouble because he can't stop running his mouth. Miscavige is so focused on himself and his reputation and the perception of him and his organization that he can't just leave it alone. He can't just let the process play out. He can't just, this is a guy who claims to be the leader of a worldwide flourishing and prospering religious movement. This is a guy who claims to be so busy traveling all over the world at various Scientology expansion events that no Scientology staff even know where he is when the process servers come a-calling. And yet apparently he has the time to draft this response to the rap. You'll notice this sentence, the church was not a party to this case. So this thing was dictated in response to a specific set of questions or a specific request for comment. If this was an actual press release intended just for general release, it would specify which case is even being referred to. You'll notice that nowhere in this entire official communication does it even say Danny Masterson's name. And yet it says Leah Remini's name 9 times. Leah Remini was not a party to this case either. Leah Remini wasn't a witness. She didn't testify. She had nothing to do with the case. Neither did officially Scientology. And yet Miscavige's response to a hung jury in the Masterson case is to put out a press release attacking Leah Remini and dumping on the district attorney and the DA's office. So that, I think it's a good reflection of the state of mind of David Miscavige. He's absolutely infatuated with Leah Remini and other high-profile, loud Scientology whistleblowers. And this is what I mean when I say Scientology's gone, done, diddly done it. They threw Danny Masterson right under the bus. Couldn't keep their mouth shut. Couldn't stay out of it. To me, this letter all but guarantees that the district attorney is going to retry Danny Masterson for violently attacking these 3 women, all former Scientologists. And my sources tell me that we could have an announcement about what decision the DA's office makes on this as soon as next week. So fingers crossed, you guys. It would be fantastic to know what's going to happen that quickly. And that's all I got on this. Hey, before I sign off, let me give one more reminder. Look at these adorable little Mike Rinder bobbleheads. If you would like a mini mic of your very own, go to the spshop.com. All proceeds from the SP Shop go to the Aftermath Foundation, which helps people who are escaping from Scientology. Mike Rinder's on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, as am I, as is Mark Headley. If you haven't seen Mark Headley's new YouTube channel, go check it out. It's called Blown for Good, and he's going to have some fantastic content over there as well, you guys. Okay, thank you everyone for watching and listening. Thanks to everybody who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.